Yeah, Mike, just how do you feel about the team going into the tournament right now?
Coming off our best shooting performance of the year in games, we've shot it that well in practice before, but never really taken it to the game. We're going to need it against Georgia. They did a good job of uh, making it really hard on us to get to the rim and the foul on our first game. So hopefully, some film of a better shooting will help us. Our emotion were a lot better coming off a win than coming down here on a long losing streak. So that had, a compounding effect of winning. Everybody's in a great mood. Our energy at both practices today was at a really, really high level. Everybody's excited to be here. A lot of kids first time obviously playing in this environment and seeing the other kids at the hotel and cool things. And I know we're in a better mood because we're coming off of a win. So, we played Georgia relatively late in the year. It was obviously a really close game down to the wire at their place. So I think our kids were excited to come out on a game we needed to win. We didn't want to finish last in the league. We didn't. We wanted to have a better opportunity to win a game down here. And, the 12-13 game presents you a much better chance than the 16-9 game, whatever. So everybody's in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. I was walking on the street. I got passed by some fans. Some were positive, some were not. I handled them both equally as effectively, I think. I'll tell y'all off camera later the story I had with some Tennessee folks, but it was a pretty good one.
And then, of course, all SEC came out today, and I think we were all pretty surprised to not see Izzy just, um, you know, for her to have such a good season and not get rewarded like that. What's kind of the message to her?
To her, I gave her a Pawpaw Neighbors quote first, which was, "It's better to not get an award that you deserved than to get an award that you didn't deserve." That was the first thing. Second thing was to relay a message. The last time we were down here pissed off about somebody not making a team was Dungy, and she led us to the finals and set an SEC scoring record in doing so. So let it be a motivation. Then I tried to make it make sense to her, and I had a really hard time. Um, so here's what I'll say. I've had a lot of time thinking about this. I had a hard time listing 16 people myself, not including her. And there are some good players that got left off because we only choose 16 people. We've been choosing 16 people since what year? 88? Since 88. Never before has the leading scorer been left off one of those teams. Now, we've gone up to 16 teams. So that takes me back to the last couple of summers down in Destin when we've talked about adding people to this list because there's other people deserving. If I were to come in here and just say, Izzy should be on the team, I would have to give you a name of somebody that she should replace. And I'm not about to do that because everybody that got on that team is deserving. But I do need somebody to help me figure out how you get to 16 without her being in the conversation. So maybe she was 17th. I don't know. But it just doesn't. I told her, I said, hey, you're going to win a bar bet the rest of your life. You're going to be the answer to a trivia question. Who was the first player to lead and we've all said this is one of the toughest years ever in the league. And for her to lead the league in scoring, I think she scored more points than anybody in the country right now, too. I bet there's not another person that has done that didn't make their all conference team. So, and she's hey, I didn't know how she'd handle. She's a little upset about it. I don't blame her. She's played through injuries. She's sacrificed. She's gone against everybody's top of the scout. And those people that want to say, oh, she was on the top of her scout, I'm going to go back and show them the film. There were teams that never pressed, that pressed has picked us up full court, two on her. Didn't press all year long except against us. Teams that were trapping in ball screens and double teaming and leaving people open, but never do it in another game. That's top of the scout. So, we'll be all. I just need somebody to text me and tell me. I've also got to figure out. I've had some people text me and said they all voted for her. And if all the people that text me that said they voted for her really did, she would have made it. So I got to figure out who's trying to, pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, and who's really being honest with me. But I don't know. I mean, I think she deserves it. We all think she deserves it. I think to her that means a lot. My point is that, there's a lot of places that have criteria for their halls of honor and things like that you have to be all conference. And we've kind of got a deal in our hallway. You can't get your picture up. And I'm going to try to get that broken. But you can't get your picture up in the hallway unless you're all conference. So it matters. I think we could have had a little better foresight as coaches and said we with Texas and Oklahoma coming in, who historically have all conference type players, and it's going to be hard. And we've got the last year of stack up of COVID kids. Let's add it for 1 year, and then we go back to 16. I don't know. I know the Big Ten, they had that foresight. They added kids. They went to two teams. They have 20 out of 18, and we have 16 with 16. So, but again, I'm not taking anything away from anybody that made the team. They were great players, and I had a hard time picking. That's how good the league is. That's how good the players in this league are. But again, I can't come up with a justifiable reason. They could say we didn't win enough games. Well, that one doesn't work if you look at the rest of the team. Maybe the shooting percentages or a second stat. There's not one, and I've tried to look at it as unbiased as I can. I've tried to have friends tell me, and I need help, somebody helping me figure out what it could have possibly been.
Oh, I've got my aunt back in.
Dudley?
First of all, I've never had any problem saying what I feel. Number one, it's BS, absolute BS.
Thanks, Doug.
She had a phenomenal year. Feel
Yep.
sorry for her after all that, but hey, it is what it is. People
Yep.
do things. Second thing is you have had to deal with some stuff off the court this year,
Yep.
and you dealt with some last week. Talk a little bit about just the joy of getting to the finish line with this team, having a smile on its face, and an opportunity to just start anew.
Well, you're right, and it's not our true fans, Dud. It's a few randoms but it comes into your world when your friends start believing it. I had texts from people that tried to talk me out of stepping down. I said, guys, let me assure you, y'all seen my 2-year-old, my 3-year-old, right? If y'all can get a place to take a bet on it, I know you're not supposed to gamble on sports, but let's gamble on that not being the case. But it affects our kids. I had to address it. I had talked to the kids. I had talked to family. I had talked to a lot of people about it. But this is not BS, Dudley. This is one of my most enjoyable teams to ever coach. And everybody's going to say, oh, that's just you talking. They don't know me well enough then to know that. This team keeps showing up through adversity. They knew what we were dealt with. We have not made an excuse for injuries. We have not made NIL. We have not made any excuses. We've tried to do the best we could every day. And for us to not finish last, that's how big that game was the other day for us. We were picked unanimously to finish last, and we didn't finish there. We finished a lot higher than that, and it's not that much higher, but it feels different. So I'm excited about the future. I've had ongoing meetings with Hunter since about Christmas about the plan for how we're going to attack revenue share. If that comes about after the House case, we've had great conversations about the ways we're going to do that, and we're ready to go into effect as soon as we know what the rules of the game are with the rev share. So I'm as energized as I've ever been at this tournament. And 10 wins or 20 wins makes no difference to me. It's about the team, seeing these kids. And I'm so proud of them, the way that they fought the other night. We could have quit after that first quarter the other night. Could have absolutely quit. Down 20-7 and nothing going our way. That could have been the mail-in moment. But, man, they fought back, and they've been rewarded for it. So I appreciate the question. And I hope everybody stays behind this group, because we're going to make some stuff this summer that's going to make it exciting for the next couple of years for sure.
Two other things. One journalistic lesson: clickbait is not your friend.
Not friend.
They always ask for a
Yep.
response.
Yep.
Everybody I can see here does that. They know how to do it, but I'm just saying.
Yep.
I'm 61 and have done this a little bit. So that's enough about me and my problems. But the second thing is, not only did you have a good win, obviously Georgia had a good win. Talk about what you've seen from them getting better and what a challenge they're going to be, because they're basically playing with the same urgency you are.
Yeah, and they so if you know Georgia's background, you know Coach Abe's background. She plays a defense that takes time to figure out. And we all knew that as the year went later. I was hoping we played Georgia the first game of the year. I said it in the preseason. I hope we play at Georgia game 1, because I knew we had to be on the road. I knew the longer you go, the more comfortable they're going to get. Their 3 freshmen that they're playing an awful lot are no longer freshmen in minutes. So they roll in there to Tennessee, and they handle Tennessee at home, that physical style of play. Their guards are tough. They're physical. They're figuring their defense out. I think it was 31-10 at one point. So, they're starting to peak at the right time. We're coming off our biggest game. We played pretty well against Missouri. We just didn't win. So I think you got two teams kind of peaking at the right time. I think it's fitting we're playing each other. One of the teams is going to get a win. I'm a huge fan of Coach Abe, and if we can't win a game down here, I'd be happy for them to. Just not against us, but they're getting better. They're tough around the rim. They're going to take it inside on us. Our bigs are going to have to play without fouling, and we're going to have. I'm not expecting us to go 13 of 27 from the 3-point line again. We've only done that a few times this year, but we need to be somewhere between that and 3 for 27 or something. So shoot it good, take care of the battle on the boards. Have an opportunity to win a game. I teach our kids the history lessons of the tournament. I think Arkansas teams prior to us arriving have only won nine times at the SEC tournament. In that'd be 23, about 25 years, they've only won a game at all 9 times. We've already done it 5 out of 7. We'd love to be 6 out of 8. So there's a lot riding on it. Our kids understand it because we talk about it, and they can live in reality world. It's not extra pressure because we talk about it every single game.
Appreciate it.
You got it, man.
Jacob, last one.
Yeah, Coach, just what can you take from just how close of a game that was when you guys played Georgia last time? And, what is there to learn from that and, take into the.
Yeah, it makes the teaching real easy because we put together 31 clips and said any of these 31 clips could have changed the outcome of that game, right? And then whenever the clip would happen, we'd point out the score and the time, and one of them was like 30 seconds into the game. And the other one was, right at the very end. And neither one of those plays had more point value than the other. You just talk about the one at the end more than you do the one at the beginning. So I think it gives you an attentive audience. It gives you real life things against an opponent that says, hey, that silly foul that put him in the bonus right there, that allowed him to go to shoot free throws rather than have to take the ball out, everything matters. So I think the fact that it was a close game, it makes your preparation easier. I don't know that it makes the playing and the execution of it, but I think you got a more attentive crowd and a more in tune player, and especially if it was the player that made that mistake. They can say, hey, I'm not going to do that one again. I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to make that mistake again. So in a quick turnaround, which we kind of had, I think it's, we're fortunate that it's against somebody we played recently and had a really good game with.
Thank you.
You got it.
All right, Coach, thanks.
All right. Hey, is the weather okay back there? Everybody, I'm getting some texts saying nobody's in storms.
Rain,
Lots of rain.
Up and down.
Lots of rain, nothing down.
Yeah.
All right. Stay safe, everybody.